And actually, sort of this whole idea about leadership. Now, if you are, say, taking on new leadership roles, and I think people, as they progress in their career, they do the technical piece very well, and it's those men and women who are good at the technical side. They normally get rewarded with the managerial roles. What can people do to sort of prepare themselves? Because obviously you're a leadership coach. What would you suggest, Gina? How can people get do things to prepare themselves to take on new challenges in leadership?
Yeah. Yeah. And first of all, not everybody should be a leader. And
Yeah,
as you think about what you want to do, don't assume that the path is leadership. The reason many people assume that the path is leadership is just because traditionally, again, in organizations, that has been the only way to make more money or to get more influence in organizations to be a leader. But there are other paths, but let's say that that is the path that you have chosen, is that leadership path, which is definitely a great choice. The thing about it is that the very first thing for an effective leader is you have to really understand yourself. And I guarantee you, without doing one more thing, if you sat down for a few minutes and just ask yourself, what are my strengths? Here's another way of putting it, because this is what I do with my clients. What are the things that you do now as a human that you think you should keep doing because they're going to help you be effective in leadership? What are the things that you do right now as a human that you think you would have to stop doing when you become a leader if you were going to be effective? And then the third thing is, what are the things that you don't know anything about now or don't do that you might have to learn about or become more proficient in order to become an effective leader? Keep, stop, start. I like that because it's easy to remember, but also because leaders are just humans. So a lot of the behaviors of effective leaders, some of them are behaviors you already have. But by the way, you know how some people say leaders are born? Yeah, there clearly are some people who are charismatic and have all that stuff from the beginning, but you can learn to be an effective leader. So on that side of what are the things that you need to become or to do or to master, I think you have to remember that leadership sort of has two components to it, or at least two. I'm just going to talk about two. It's you're helping people to get a job done. That's what a leader does. It's not like you're pushing them to get the job done or telling them to get the job done. The leader's job is to help people get a job done. So there's the task part. And then there's the part of the job that is the human part, which is to interact with the humans who are getting the job done in such a way that it encourages them to do the work and does not take away any of their natural shine or capability. So you have to ask yourself about both those dimensions. If you come from the technical, you're probably pretty strong on the task side. So within this interpersonal aspect of things, I feel like the most important thing that you should do after having done that self-analysis that I was describing is really observe what others, or think about what others who have been in this role or a role similar have done that you have observed that has worked and what has not worked. Many people step into leadership roles knowing fully well the person before them. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, right? They have an idea of what works. What most of the people do is they just slip right into what was there and just keep on with the same old, same old. But the best thing that you can do as a new leader is to really have a sense of what it is that you desire. What is your vision for your team? I don't care how small the team is. It could be the 3 people working at McDonald's. What is your vision for it? What would you want? What would you want those people in that team to say about you 6 months from now? Let that determine the things that you focus on that you need to work on. Don't let somebody above you tell you what that should be. So you talk to your team more than ever before and find out, what is working. It's like a cheat sheet. It's like a no-brainer. You don't have to figure it out yourself when you're a new leader. You talk to the people you lead and ask them what they need. They will tell you what they need. And then you say, oh, I guess I better get better at this because they need this and I don't have that. Or, oh, I got this. I'm serious. I'm dead serious here. Most leaders do not talk to the people they lead, and therefore they're leading blindly and thinking that they're doing the right thing because it's in their heads. So you can see the point that what I'm trying to communicate here, Harsha, is that most people make this way more complicated than it needs to be, number one. And they don't give themselves credit for the things that they already have as their strengths. But I would say the most important thing is to really spend time talking to people you will lead and let them tell you what they need.